passed the PMI ACP in 3 weeks working full-time, and honestly, there were moments during that exam where I genuinely wasn't sure if I was going to make it or not. So in this video, I want to be really honest with you about 3 things that I found the hardest and that I didn't see anyone else talk about when I was looking on YouTube for PMI ACP content, so you can walk in better equipped than I was. Let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing that caught me off guard, and I've heard this from many other people too, is the best answer problem. Here's what I mean. The questions are multiple choice, which is quite standard, but many of them can sound like they could be true. So often all 4 options, especially for the scenario-based questions, they seem like valid agile practices, or they even are, but you must select the best option for that specific scenario that is being described. So in that sense, memorizing a definition will only get you so far, as the majority of the questions are those scenario-based questions where you really need to apply your own critical thinking and understanding of servant leadership. And that's the game. It's not testing whether you know the definition of agile and servant leadership or what a retrospective is. It's testing whether you understand how to apply those concepts in a specific human situation. And that's where a lot of people, including myself, at certain points start second-guessing themselves. Is this the best possible answer? Is that actually what they want to hear? With the ACP, the trap is that you're reading scenarios about team dynamics, stakeholder relationships, conflict, and so on. And you have to go, okay, what does a genuinely good agile project manager do in this given situation? Not just what is technically correct. So my honest advice: stop trying to memorize definitions. That will only get you so far. Focus on understanding the why behind agile values. Why does a servant leader step back instead of step in? Why does a transparency matter more than efficiency in certain moments? When you understand the reasoning, the answer starts to become more obvious, even when all 4 options sometimes seem like they could be the best option. If you're unsure about a question, here's what I did. I first went through all of the options and looked at which one was definitely not the right one and striked it through. They have a strike through option in the exam. And then I marked the question to come back later to with a clearer mind and make a final decision on the best option. Now, the second thing I found really hard about the exam was the time pressure, because a lot of the practice exams that I had done before, they had quite short answers and short questions, making it really likely to get through all of the exam in a short amount of time, definitely under the 3 hours. But the actual exam questions and answers both entailed way more words, they were way longer, and it took much more time to actually read through them. So believe it or not, these 3 hours actually go by so quickly. You see the timer in the right upper corner counting down, adding to your stress. What helped me here was using the highlighter function. I used it to highlight the core part of each question and not get lost in all of the surrounding words, to be able to answer them more efficiently. Use the highlighter to mark all of the relevant words, to mark what actually is the essence of the question, and to maybe also highlight those answer options that you think might be best suitable for the specific question. The third thing about this exam that I found quite challenging was the technical setup, because I decided to take the test online at home, and I was really not 100% sure whether my Wi-Fi was going to turn off unexpectedly, or whether in the rush of it all, I accidentally moved too far out of the screen, which would actually result in the examiner thinking I'm cheating and me actually eventually failing the exam. And I didn't even dare to go to the toilet in the designated break, because I thought, okay, maybe then I come back too late or something happens in the meantime with the technical setup of the Wi-Fi and everything breaks apart, and I really didn't want to risk that. In the end, I also wasn't sure if after all those 3 hours, hitting that button would actually submit my whole exam correctly or not. So my tip here: if you have a very old laptop or not the best, most stable Wi-Fi, you should consider doing the test at a test center, just to save you the nerves of a potential technical failure. And if you do it at home, test the software, the audio, and all of these other things a couple of times before and on the exam day itself, just to be extra sure everything is working. You should also tell your roommates, partners, or family members who you're living with to stay outside and potentially not use the Wi-Fi in the meantime, just to make sure it's extra stable. Now, in general, some people will find it super easy. Others will find it hard. It really, I think, depends a lot on your experience with Agile, your ability to manage stress under time pressure, and also your preparation of the technical setup. I made a separate video with some insights about my exam day and how I studied for it to pass it within 3 weeks working full-time. You can check it out here. Now, I hope this was helpful at all. Good luck for your exam, and let me know in the comments whether you are currently studying for it, whether you've already passed it, and what you were struggling most with. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.